Welcome to Fun Ballet Podcast, where we are unpacking opinions and changing destinations. I am your host, Sherley Altador, where each week we will chat about how to rise strong out of all types of obstacles that come with relationships. Through personal life experiences and discussions ranging from infidelity, trust, forgiveness, sex, heartbreak, self-love, and so much more. I am passionate and obsessed to provide guidance to every woman to create a better life. Let's dive in, pull up a seat, make sure you're cozy, and get ready to be challenged and encouraged while you learn. With me, your virtual girlfriend. Welcome back to another episode of Advice Time. So today we're going to be focused on communication. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Sherley, with my co-host, Kalief.
How y'all doing?
He'll get better over time and get more comfortable because I think he gets nervous every time he's about to start. But we're going to focus on communication today since we've been together for 25 years. I do believe we have a little advice to offer when it comes to communication, how we've lasted this long, pros and cons of certain things we did, and of course give you guys some feedback. So Kalief, you want to start off?
No, be honest.
Well, since he doesn't want to start off, I'll bring up the topic of communication in our relationship. I do believe within the last few years, the communication in our relationship has strengthened tremendously. When we first started, it was okay, but I don't think we really, well, first of all, we really didn't know any proper tools when it came to having a quote unquote healthy relationship. I think when we, first started off, our relationship probably was more sexually driven than anything. And over the years, it strengthened in other departments. So when it comes to communication for us, I do believe that we try to be upfront with each other, tell each other what's going on about certain things, or I should say all things. I shouldn't say certain things. We tell each other everything that's going on, give or take. But communication wasn't always great in our relationship. There was always a barrier. Kalief and I are extremely different. I am a conversational type of person. I like deep conversation, and I'm a good listener. Kalief, on the other hand, is a talker, but not a good listener. And he always wants to make things quick and to the point.
Fuck yeah.
And I'm not necessarily that way all the time. I feel like that's a case-by-case situation when you make things to the point. One thing in our relationship, I think when it came to certain things like infidelity, Kalief always told me immediately when he did something wrong. And as crazy as it may sound, there was a part of me that appreciated because he was being honest with me. And as they say, honesty is the best policy. But then there are times where I had to ask myself and self-reflect and say, well, what's your underlying reason of sharing this information with you if you still plan on being in this relationship with me? And yet you're telling me you did this, but I'm not understanding why are you sharing it with me? And it seems like you're still continuing to do what you do. What is your intent of telling me? And do you remember your intent, what you told me, the reason why you told me?
One, because of your fucking mouth.
Well, elaborate for them. If it is because of my fucking mouth, tell them like why.
She was complaining too much about shit. You know what I mean? Like when you come home is supposed to be your peace. You feel me? Outside in the world, that's all the fucking headaches. You feel me? You come home, you're supposed to be at peace. Don't nobody want to come home to a female nagging about the most bullshit as shit. You know what I mean? Like, just get over it. I mean, this is where my peace is at. This is my sanctuary. This is where I'm supposed to relax, get on my downtime, get away from the fucking world. And to come home and basically have my home as the world again, it doesn't make no sense to me. And that's just my part of it.
Well, if I had to comment on that, I feel as though many men like to use the word nag, or, you know, home is supposed to be peace. Home is supposed to be where you find what else did you say? It's supposed to be peace, your sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a good point that you bring up, because that's where the communication gets cut off, because men say this a lot, where they feel as though a female is nagging and they're always in their ear, and they feel like they can't find peace. But let's be honest. So we'll talk about us. We'll use us as an example. What were some of the reasons that I was nagging you?
Listen, I'm going to be so honest with you. I don't even keep track of it because just seem to tune it out on you now. Like, it doesn't even make no sense to me. So I'm like, you know what? Whatever. You know what I mean? I don't pay it no mind. It's something I just get over. Just get over it. Done. You know that you want to be in deep conversation and I want to make long story shorts? But let me tell you something. Any type of way I felt as though you was nagging, the long story short was get over it. In my head, you know what I mean? I'm home in my sanctuary trying to be at peace. I don't need nothing to alter me, to make me start an argument or get into an argument or just give negative feedback to my significant other. So I just chose to just let it go over my head, so to say. Indulge in it for a bit. But then once I feel as though I'm not entertained with it or it's not getting anywhere, just let it go. So whatever you was talking about, what was one of the reasons? It was multiple. So guess what? I can't pinpoint none of them because I don't even think about them. Respectfully.
Okay. But you don't think about them, but they're an annoyance to you. So how do you block them out?
Get away from you.
That's just the reason you're saying now. But
No,
what
I'm
I'm
dead
trying to
ass.
say, yes, okay, I hear you're saying you're dead ass. But like on a serious note, though, you're telling me I'm nagging. This is common for all men. They like to use that term, a woman is nagging, and that's fine. I'm using us as an example. So you can't give us one solid example of one thing when you came home that was a major issue to you. So basically, it seems like you're just saying it, but you have nothing to back it up with, because all you're
No,
saying is I just chose to block you out,
it's
and that's
facts.
it. So if you're coming home and I'm addressing simple situations to you, it could be something as simple as, oh, Kalief, you didn't wash the dishes, or Kalief, you didn't do this, or Kalief, you didn't do that. How is that nagging if it's certain things that is particular to our home?
Hey, fellas, peep this one. As a man, if we doing the best we can and she worrying about the dishes, let it go over your head.
Well, I just use the dishes as an example because
I
you
know you
weren't.
just use it as an example, and I'm responding to your example. All right? Just let it go over your head. Don't even pay it no mind. You feel me? You know? If she needs you to do something, do it. Or just wait till she complain about it, then do it. Or find somebody else to do it.
My goodness. Find somebody else to do it. Well, in your case, you did find someone else to do
The
it, because
kids.
till this day, you never really did the dishes.
Hell no, I did do dishes to a certain extent. You know what I did? Taught the kids how. Taught them how to cook too.
Got it. So let's focus back on the nagging, since you brought that up as part of communication. Why do you feel, I'm going to switch the topic since you're trying to generalize the nagging? You can't remember what particular thing got on your nerves so much that you want to identify it as nagging. Why do you feel as though men consistently say that? And why does it seem as though what you're trying to say is the woman is the issue?
We're gonna use this whole nagging conversation as an example. You're basically using this as a run-on sentence. We trying to find a period to this shit. You feel me? The period is let it go. You know what I mean? You said what you said. No need to come back with it again. No need to drag it on even further. You know what I mean? You said what you said. End it. Plain and simple.
Who said what they said? The woman?
Yeah. And as the man, you already said what you said. I mean, look, we can just end that. That's how the men come off. We don't need to have that full conversation, that deep conversation. Once something is brought to our attention, we take heed to it. Maybe in the beginning, maybe in the middle, maybe at the end. Or maybe after we walk away, we'll take heed to it. And then we'll figure out how we're going to word this. We're not, how would I say, straight to the jump. Let's solve the problem. No, we gotta let me just think about this for a second. You know, all right. She said what she said. All right, cool. I'll figure out another way, another day. It'll get handled. That's how we say it. We don't. Oh, well, this and that, and then you waiting on a response, and it's like, I don't have no response for you right now. I ain't even give that shit thought. That's what we consider nagging. Niggas don't give motherfucking thoughts to certain stuff, man. I mean, men. Sorry. Men don't give thoughts to a lot of things, you feel me? Until after the female is out their head and they can sit here and have a peace of mind within herself to have a response to it. Women want snappy responses. Men don't give snappy responses. You want a snappy response? Make a man mad. But if you don't want a snappy response, keep him calm, let him think about it, and he'll get back to you with it. It's called a thought process.
That still doesn't justify why men say women nag.
Y'all fucking nag.
But you're still not giving me a valid argument of why men say that. Here's the thing.
Why did they say that? Why did they say that? Listen, y'all females get very emotional when you're on your fucking period. One. You know what I mean? So we already know 3 to 7 days out of that motherfucking month, bitch, we gotta disappear. You know what I mean? Call me when you get in spots. I can't do this. But literally, seriously though, like y'all female have different moods. 354 days out the year. Matter of fact, no, I'm 345 days out the year. Y'all women have different moods. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, that 3 to 7 is the most. And men literally try to stay away from y'all when y'all on that 3 to 7 day. Because y'all females, y'all just get real different and make it feel as though men are the guilty ones because God bless you with a 3 to 7 day dying period.
Okay, so you know what? I'm going to take this and turn it back on you because it seems as though what you're saying is a big source of men's communication issues boils down to a woman. So we're going to focus on our relationship. And are you a challenge to handle?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
I ain't gonna deny that.
So you are a challenge to handle. To me, you're quite difficult. And
which is a challenge.
With it, yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's what I'm saying. You're quite difficult to deal with. I wouldn't say you nag, but I can definitely say, what can I say? Because you're not a nagger, but you don't pay attention to detail.
Huh. Pause.
You don't.
Pause. I pay attention to detail. I just don't express paying attention to detail. I like to catch you off guard. You got to take in consideration. I am a random individual. You feel me? I do things spontaneous and random. So you never know if I pay attention to detail or not because it just goes to show. Let's say not for your birthday. What was it? It was one of the days where you wouldn't like the tattoo that you wanted for your grandparents. You couldn't get it because the picture's so old and need to be modified somehow, some way. So what do? I put it on a cake.
I'm not talking about that attention to detail. I appreciate that. That's different.
So what attention to detail you talking about then? Because that's attention and that's detail.
I'm talking about more a sense of, you know how the first thing you said is a woman likes to nag. I like to nag. So I'm trying to say to you, you're difficult to deal with. Yes. But
All men, all women are difficult to deal with. It's all about trying to compromise how to deal with the individual, regardless of the fact whether it's male or female. Even children. All people are difficult to deal with.
so if all people are difficult to deal with, why the first word out your mouth is women nag? If you're telling me people are difficult to deal with, you yourself, you're saying you're difficult to deal with. Why
I
are
know
you
I am.
just focusing on one isolated thing and saying all females nag, and then you want to jump to when they're on their period as though like we're just like vicious animals?
On your periods? Fuck yeah. Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
not vicious animals.
What?
I mean, our moods may change and
Again,
you may have to adapt.
we gotta adjust to something that God bless you with.
Adapting is not that hard. You're making it seem like it's that
It
hard.
is when a person don't know the next emotion that you're gonna have. That is very difficult to deal with. Like you see how you smiling right now? Them people you wasn't smiling before this started. You was ready
Yes,
to
I was. No, the thing
you
is, you take me seriously all the time, Khalif. All
nigga.
the time.
Oh my gosh, you know
All the
I.
time you take me seriously. But I wanted to bring up something else before we go off tangent. So, when children are small, what I realize is, and this is what I learned in counseling, repeating something to someone, even an adult, is not a wrong thing. You have to, at many times, repeat things to people so they can remember, so they realize it, so they also know. I also think that's all part of setting boundaries, both personally and for your relationship. So if two people are together and we're going to say the female is making a point of she may want something done or she's requesting something of you, and the man is acting like he doesn't care or he doesn't have time or he doesn't want to hear it, to me, in my opinion, that's where the communication is breaking off and it becomes a problem. Because if it could be something as simple as I say to you, um,
How was your day?
no,
That was a good
no,
one.
now how was your day? It could be something as simple as, hey, you know what, babe, that doghouse in the back that we have, is it possible that you can figure out how it could be taken away because we haven't used it, we don't need it, I don't feel it needs to be there anymore. And I'm just using that as an example. So if I tell you on Monday, 2 weeks go by, I don't see any update from you about what's going
See how
on, what's
aggressive that
happening.
update came out? Peep this.
He's in his feelings. I think he's going through some menstrual issues right now. This is the problem. Anyway,
Definitely.
2 weeks later, if I come to you and I say, hey, babe, what's going on with the doghouse? And you don't have any update for me, and then now I'm repeatedly asking you and asking you and asking you about something I brung up to you that I felt as though you shouldn't address and you haven't addressed it. Of course, it's normal behavior to ask until you give me some type of update of what's going on. So what you're telling me, women out here just requesting things from men or saying they would like certain things done, y'all men are doing it and we still acting like crazy bitches and nagging you and making a big deal about things, because
Fuck
that's
yeah.
literally what you sound
I'm
like.
about to.
Because you're just basically saying, you see, you ready to speak already.
Hell yeah, I'm ready to
You
speak. 'Cause I'm about to win something on this one.
you just basically saying that women out here just complaining, complaining, complaining. We doing what we supposed to do, and all y'all want to do is complain, complain, complain. But let's be honest, if you're not stepping up and being the woman she needs you to
Why
be,
the fuck would I be the woman?
being, you know what I mean, being the man that you never know, it could be the woman based on the
Shit.
relationship, but being the man that she needs you to be, of course she's going to get upset. Of course she's going to make big deals about stuff. Even in our own relationship, I've seen it where you're saying, I'm nagging, I'm nagging, I'm nagging. And one, you may not remember, but one thing that really, really got on my nerves is you never really wanted to help with the cleaning of the house. That is one thing I always brought to your attention about, we are sharing this home together.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not anybody's maid here. Now, I told you this before the kids were born, and I even not too long ago made it a point
Mm-hmm.
to you and the kids because I had to address to you guys that I'm not anybody's maid. We all live in this house
Mm-hmm.
together, and how is the home going to stay clean if we
Mm-hmm.
all don't participate, right? Right. So I've nagged you about that, but over the years, I've gotten better because I realized that, okay, when I look at the bigger picture of things, am I going to leave the relationship because he doesn't want to wash the dishes, because he doesn't want to sweep or mop? These are things he just doesn't want to do. Is it traumatizing or that dramatic for me to end our
Can I
relationship
chime in
over
on?
that?
Can I chime in on this real
No,
quick?
not yet.
Nah, let me.
Hold your
Cause
thought.
this is a
So
lot of thought.
this is a lot of thought, exactly.
A
But
very, but in
I
very short
had to
words.
I had
Go
to
ahead.
break it down because you're not really telling anybody anything other than women nag, y'all
Okay,
complain.
cool. Okay, cool. So peep this right here. That dog house you talking about outside?
Mm-mm.
Nah, hold on. Nope, don't cut me off.
That was an example I used. I
I
don't
don't
even care
care.
about
I
that.
know
Give
you
another
don't.
example
I
since I've
don't.
been
Nah,
asking
nah.
you and you
Pause.
couldn't
Hold
say
on.
anything.
Hold on. She right. She did bring it to my attention. But guess what? Her favorite dog is the one that goes inside that dog house. So we gonna end that one. Like I said, I'm gonna make it real short. Dead ass.
Yes, he likes to
That
go in
little
there.
nigga go in that dog house because it'd be too hot for him to be outside. So now we done ended that one, right? So boom, her bringing up this cleaning part of it, right? Yes, she's right to a certain extent. So when I did decide to put my 2 cents in on cleaning, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Like it needs to be done this way. Well, why are you gonna start helping somebody clean, but then you want them to do it your way? Well, let me tell you something, right? If you mopping the floor, is you gonna mop yourself outside the house? Or is you gonna mop yourself inside the house to where you can sit here and basically walk away and let the floor dry? Some things I see just are done backwards, and it gets to me. And when she makes her comments about helping clean or helping mop or helping do this, well, listen, if you don't like the way they do it yourself. Well, if you don't like this, then do it yourself. You know what? Listen, you won. I ain't touching nothing. Our kids are old enough now, so guess what? They got the dishes. They got the cleaning. Guess what? They got chores. Why do you think kids get the stuff they get? Is because they do their chores. You know, it's their responsibility to keep the house clean. Me and the mom, we can just pay the bills and live life.
Let me chime in on what he says. It is not the children's responsibility to keep the
Shit.
house clean. That
Shit.
is Kalief's thought process. Okay.
You right.
The kids already told you they don't even know if you would survive on your own without me because you don't like to clean.
Yeah. Never said I don't like to clean. Never said that, so don't even think about that one. Because I can survive on my own. But guess what? If I got a lady I know that's going to take care of me, and I know I got kids that's going to back me up, hey, man, just let me be the man. Because like you said, like, hey, yo, so if China and Antoine listening, like you said, you take care of the outside of the house, I'll take care of the inside of the house. So everything I need to do is outside of the fucking house. Like you said. You don't know nothing about that yet.
No, I don't know anything about that. But that still doesn't justify anything for our listeners when
What?
it comes to men
How?
saying that women nag. All you used is you just piggyback off of
I did piggyback, and guess
the
what?
examples that I
So
offered.
long
Wait,
story.
all you did was piggyback off of the examples that I offered you. I'm trying to understand, and our listeners are trying to understand, why do men complain about women nagging? Because truth be told, if you are not doing what is being asked of you, whatever that may be, and I'm not going to use any more examples because you're piggybacking off of my examples.
Piggyback off of them
If
examples.
you are
Those
not
are great examples.
if you are not doing what is being asked of you or
Those ain't
not
even.
pitching in at when a relationship is teamwork. Can you imagine being on a team with someone and there's 6 people on a team? 4 people are all pitching in and doing what they're supposed to do, and the other 2 people think, this is beneath me. I'm not doing this. I don't do this. I don't do that. I don't do this. bitch, you want to be part of this team? You better do what we do. Like, that's what the relationship is. It's a team effort here.
Babe, you want to come help me work on my car? I'll sit outside with you. I thought that was a team effort by me asking you to come outside and help me work on my car.
You see what you're doing right now,
It's a
though?
piggyback. It's a motherfucking piggyback, but that's a good example.
No. Let me explain something to you. First of all, you are not a good teacher. You're not
How?
a good teacher.
What?
You're not a
You
good
crazy as hell.
teacher.
Pop just did the oil change.
You're not a good teacher.
Pop did the oil. Pop know how to change tires, do oil changes. Ryan know how to change tires. Probably do spark plugs and some other stuff. She's going to say I'm not a good teacher, right? Now, we're not going to bring the kids into the podcast because this is basically about us, relationship, shit like that. You feel me? But literally, our kids started learning how to do mechanical stuff on vehicles at a young age. And they know enough to get them by if they catch a flat on the side of the road. If they don't have an electric car and they need to do an oil change in their car, they know how to do that.
I get you, but we're not talking about the kids. We're talking about Kalief and his communication style. You're not a good teacher. You're not a good teacher.
See how she's kicking her significant other down, fellas?
I'm just
like, and y'all want to listen to this? You know how hurt I feel?
I'm just being honest with you. You're just emotional.
I'm not emotional. But no, that is literally like, you feel as though I'm not a good teacher to you. To others, it might be something totally different.
But also, yeah, you're right. And that aspect is, there's a difference in how you teach. I don't like it at all. But when it comes to the chores, you made the comment about how I mop and stuff like that.
How you mop.
You did. You said, do you mop and trap yourself in?
Yeah, because babe.
But the point is, babe, right?
But let's go back to this nagging shit. Fuck that piggybacking shit. Let's go back to this fucking nagging. Let's go back. Fix your face. That face expression is not going to be on this podcast today.
On a serious note, when it comes to communication, even though Kalief is making jokes out of the whole nagging situation, in my opinion, I feel as though men who say that really truly are not trying to really understand what their significant other is trying to say and convey. Because yeah, I could kick you back in and say you nagging me and say you doing this and say you doing that. But if you really sit down and listen to what your partner is trying to say and the issues that they're bringing to your attention, is it really nagging, or are you just trying to not hear what the person is saying? Communication is important in a relationship because it's what makes or breaks the relationship. If this person is so much of a nag, getting on your nerves that much, we all adults here, right? Right. So what do? You walk away from something that doesn't serve you. But many men don't do that. They will use that as a line of defense and say, she nagging me and all she do is talk. Yeah, women do like to talk, and we may remind you about certain things that need to be done, but is that really truly nagging? Because just like when a child is growing up and you have to consistently remind them about things, every now and then you might hear even teenagers say like, oh, my parents nag me and they bother me. It's just a word, I feel, that people throw out there because they have nothing else to justify their case with.
To a certain extent.
If I'm telling you, my teenager, to clean your room, of course you're going to think I'm nagging because I'm telling you to do something and you're not doing it. And the same rule applies for adults. And I've said this many times on the podcast. Adults are just grown kids with responsibilities, because what happens now is when you're a child, you have your parents overseeing you and pretty much telling you what to do. Now, once you're 18, there's no one overseeing you telling what to do, and you could just run amok in this world and do what you want to do. That's the thing that changed, and now you're working and paying bills. But when it comes to the whole nagging thing, Kalief and I see that differently. I feel as though men who say that just truly don't want to understand the underlying reason.
I got one for you.
Why their partner is
hold on, baby. I got one for you.
What you got?
Let me get one for you. So,
You
fellas,
gonna get serious now?
I'm gonna be so serious. It's
Okay.
in a jokeful mood.
No, that's fine. It could be
It's in a
jokeful
jokeful
mood as
mood,
long
but I'm
as
gonna tell you
it's
like this, right?
educational for other men out there. Because I wouldn't
So,
want my
ladies.
son to start a relationship and say, "Oh, all she do is nag me." What?
So, ladies, let me tell y'all something here, right? When y'all bring something to y'all man attention repeatedly, and he say he nagging, I mean that you nagging him, what he really saying is stop fucking talking. Like, he don't want to keep on hearing the shit. When he get around to it, he'll get the fucking shit done. Just be fucking patient. Don't rush him to the shit. You know what I mean? If you want the shit done tomorrow, hey, babe, listen, can you do this by tomorrow? If a man want to respond, babe, I don't think I'm going to have time to do it, but when I do have some free time, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. And I'm going to be God honest truth. And this is just going to go on my personal opinion. You feel me? What I mean? Like, this is going to go on my personal lifestyle. Like, I have a car in the back I didn't touch in 7 months. So in order for me to drive the car, I must do an oil change on it, right? I literally had the oil and the filter to do my oil change for 2 weeks. I just got to it today. I had something else I need to get taken care of. Had that part for a month before I can handle the situation. You know? And this is on my personal time for things I need to get done for myself. When it comes to the house, on my personal time, if it fits into that area, I will do it. If it doesn't, hey, babe, listen, I don't even want to hear what you got to say about what you want it done because I know I ain't do it. So just stop fucking talking.
We're gonna move on from the nagging topic because I think you guys understand our gist of what we're trying to say here. When it comes to Kalief, if you guys have further questions or want to comment about what he is saying, because even as partners after 25 years, there are certain things that he may say I may not necessarily agree with. What he's saying right now about the nagging, I don't agree with because I still do feel.
That's all I'm saying about the nagging. Just ladies, stop talking.
I still do
stop bringing it up.
That it's a break in the communication. And in order for you to have healthy communication with your partner, if your partner is addressing something to you, it's important to discuss it and to meet a common ground and find a happy medium.
Hey, babe, got one for you.
Why are you whispering?
I got one for you. She can hear me. I ain't got to whisper this. It's got to be a joke. Can I be in my jokeful mood?
Oh, gosh. The whole time you've been in jokeful mood.
Nah, but this is a real joke.
What is it?
Do I nag you for sex?
You definitely do. You
do. So you consider that nagging? Or you consider that trying to take care of your man's needs? Which one is it?
You asked me a question. I answered it. Do you nag me for sex? If you want to use nagging, yeah, you can say nagging. But you're definitely more sexually driven than I am. The thing is, you're placing a negativity on something that's not negative. I don't go around telling my friends, oh, he's nagging me for sex. Every woman knows that a guy is majority of the time more hypersexual than a woman. Not that women are not, but they're more hypersexual than women. But you don't hear women saying he nagging me. Oh, girl, you might say something like, oh, girl, he wanted some last night, but I ain't give it to him. That's it.
And guess what we doing, fellas? We taking that.
No, stay focused on what you asked me. Okay, that's it. So, yeah, women can definitely say men nag them when it comes to sex. But we don't use that term because we don't see it as a y'all got this negative thing in your mind as though just because we asking something of you and we have to remind you or get an update from you and continue to tell you something that we don't like that you're consistently either doing or not doing, you automatic nag. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But no.
See your facial nag. Like, why you gotta be so aggressive with the facial expression?
Yeah, because I talk with my face. I
don't
talk with
talk
my face. I talk
with
my
jokes.
emotions and my hands. Yeah, my face will tell you a lot, especially if I'm not happy with the conversation or if I'm angry. My face, it's all in my face. But yes, to answer your question, a woman might as well say a man is nagging them for sex because y'all do be wanting it more than a little bit. And a lot of times we don't want to give it to you, but hell yeah, y'all annoying sometimes.
And the reason you would never catch me in a serious conversation with her is because I literally don't think I take anything serious. I gotta find humor in something about the conversation, and she will get mad at it. And next thing you know, it's a whole spiral. I'm not gonna say downhill because it's ways around making it a downhill spiral. But she's too serious and I'm too jokeful. I think that's why we're here for so long, these 25 years. Cause you're fucking always serious, and I ain't got time for that shit, man. I like to live life. You wanna, oh my gosh, this and this and that. What the fuck? Da, 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 da. Man, look, fuck that shit, man. Get over it. That's what y'all got. That's what some of y'all females got to start doing. Now, I mean, like, y'all can't let your emotions or your pride, let's say pride, emotions, and feelings get in the way of something that's not that serious. Nothing in life is serious besides dying, cause you ain't never coming back.
The reason we've lasted so long, the reason I mean, to still just to get off topic for a minute. We've lasted so long for me because I do have genuine love for you, Kalief. You are, over the years, you have complicated our relationship
Facts.
more than it needed to be.
No, that's true facts. That's true facts. But hold on. I understand that you're not done, and I'm going to agree with you. I'm going
finish.
Fuck waiting. I'm going to agree with you on that. Don't put your nails in me.
No, my hands are cold. So you have complicated our relationship more than
that's
a
how you
little
gonna get me to calm down with putting your nails in me.
I didn't. But the reason we have lasted together for so long is we genuinely picked each other to fight for, because there are many
I'll agree with
situations that we could have easily there are many situations that we could have easily walked away from that maybe didn't serve us anymore. There were some unhealthy situations in our relationship, and while because that's something that I even think about, but we are different, and I think our differences and the love we have for each other made us stay together for so long. But also, what I've also come to realize is, although we're different, we're very much alike.
Yeah, but you like the plan. I don't like the plan. I just like to go with it.
No, very much alike when it comes to
Certain
the type
stuff.
of people we are with our personality. So what I mean by that is, like, we are alike but different at the same time, and it's hard for me to explain, because what I'm trying to say is, in a situation where if we're upset, you are very expressive with your anger and outbursts and loud, where me, I'm more silent with it, and it doesn't mean I'm not upset about it. I'm the conniving one where I'll do something and you'll never know. You're the one where you'll do something and they'll know.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's you's a
I
sneaky
mean.
motherfucker, in other words.
Goddamn right, I'm sneaky. Especially if it comes to when I'm upset.
See the shit I'm talking about? See the shit I'm talking about? Fellas, look, see. We just got her on her own podcast admitting that she's a sneaky motherfucker, fellas. Take this shit in consideration.
The heck are you talking about? I'm a sneaky motherfucker.
You just admitted.
Motherfuckers. And I'm admitting I'm a sneaky. We've all done some sneaky shit in our lives.
Dead ass.
I mean, like, there's no
dead ass.
That. We've all done stuff that when we sit down and think, like, we know we shouldn't have done that shit. And either somebody will find out or somebody won't find out. Some people will take some of the sneaky shit they've done to the grave.
Dead ass.
Okay? So what I'm trying to say is not in a sneaky motherfucker type of way. I'm just saying, although we are different, we are very much alike in many ways.
No, I 100% agree with you on that.
So as we stay still on the topic of communication,
I don't like to talk to Sherley, be honest. I'm gonna be so fucking honest, because Sherley, she has a lead up conversation. You know what I mean? Like, she's gonna have a conversation that's gonna lead up to what the fuck she wants to talk about, instead of just putting it out there. truthfully speaking. Whereas with me, I mean, I'm just gonna say what I gotta say, get your response, and I'm gonna roll with it. Where her, she wants a response with an explanation, and then an explanation behind that explanation. I ain't got time for that shit. And that's just truthfully speaking. Like, listen, make a long story short, say what you gotta say. Here's an answer. If you don't like it, go in your head, give it some deep fucking thought, and maybe you'll come out with what I was actually saying. Because when we first started this relationship, right, I'm gonna just tell you off from the jump, I'm a fucking asshole. I say what I want to say. It is what the fuck it is. You know what I mean? But when I basically met Shirley, I told her, I'm like, listen, I'm going to come off ignorant. Not that I'm meaning to come off ignorant towards you, but it's just the way it's going to come out. And if you can, please take what I say, put it into your own words, and maybe you'll get a better comprehension on it. Shit never happened, though. Because as soon as I say what I say, bitch, she snaps on me. Sometimes, not all the times. It all depends on the situation. But that's just the truth. You know what I mean? Like, I'm an asshole. I say what I say. And if you don't like it, oh well. If you do, cool. If you want to put it into your own words, fine and dandy. You know, but don't get emotional about it. It's nothing that serious.
I don't necessarily, he calls himself an asshole. People will say he's an asshole. I don't see him as an asshole. We all in this world say what it is we want to say. Some people just know how to get their point across a little more respectfully than others. Kalief may say he's an asshole, but deep down inside, Kalief, you have a bigger heart than I do.
I do.
He has a bigger heart than I do.
I
He
do.
likes to call himself an asshole, but in the relationship, I'm the person who's a lot more cold than Kalief is.
So I'm gonna give it to you like this, right? Like I said, this is the sanctuary. This is the home. This is where you feel relaxed, right? So whatever I say outside in the motherfucking streets, that don't really come home to this fucking house.
Even when I see you out there, I mean, when you talking to
But I'm talking to you. I'm not talking like when I'm talking.
Well, I
you
don't want to
crazy.
complicate the situation.
No,
What
this is
I'm trying to
communication,
say-
baby. This is communication. This
All
is
I'm
still
trying
part
to
of
say is
communication.
just to piggyback off what you said.
But it's still part of communication, baby. What I say outside in these motherfucking streets don't really come into this house.
But that's not what I'm saying. All
All
I'm
right.
saying to you is that you're not an asshole.
Mhm.
Even if I don't see you as well, if you don't agree with me, you don't have to agree with me. All I'm saying is I don't see you as an asshole. You like to call yourself that, and I realize people will say that. Even when this podcast was going to air, that was some people's quick thought. But I'm around you more than anybody else. I don't know you 100% because I'm not you, but you're truly not an asshole, and you have a good heart, and you mean well. And I think just certain maybe traumas that you've dealt with over the years that you have not properly dealt with and are still dealing with, but you are genuinely a good person and you mean well. When I tell you I'm a lot cold than you are, certain things that I watch that you do or you do for others, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Because I'm like, I'm not doing all that for this and this and this and this and this. It seems like I feel like sometimes you want to help the community. And I'm like, we ain't got time for all that. That's not in our financial budget to be helping the fucking community.
When I feel is, listen. For every blessing, there is a blessing. It ain't about getting that blessing back. It's about blessing others.
Yeah,
In the long run, it will come.
Two different. I know what you're trying to say. Yes. But I can only do what I can do, and I think that's the difference.
That's very understandable.
I don't overextend myself for what I cannot do.
And I don't.
You do.
I fucking don't. You think I do? You might see it as I do, but I don't. Trust me on this. I know myself well enough to know if I'm going to fully extend myself or not. You feel me? For you, yeah, I will.
Now you do.
Nigga, even before, I just don't like to go out my way at certain times. That's with a lot of fucking people. At certain times, yeah, I'm not going to go out my fucking way for you. Know what I mean? And granted, you will do the same. If you feel as though it's not within you to go out your way for me at that point in time, you won't.
Now I do. Not in the beginning of our relationship.
Well, now you need to go back to the beginning of the relationship because I need you to go out your motherfucking way. Fuck that. Because I need something.
In the beginning of the relationship, I didn't put myself first, and it wasn't healthy, and that's not healthy at all. No matter what relationship you're in, you should always put yourself first, because if you're doing more than the other person than you are doing for yourself, it's detrimental.
And that is true. And that is true. And that goes to say, if you can't keep yourself happy, how are you gonna keep the ones around you happy?
So we're gonna move to communication in our relationship when it came to infidelity. Uh, when it came to infidelity, why do you feel as though we both decided to be honest with each other about the situation and didn't take it to the grave?
As far as with me, I just see it as you gotta own up to your shit. Like I don't think you can just look at that same. I don't think you can look at the person the same and just keep on feeding a fucking lie. You know what I mean? Like lies don't get you fucking nowhere. Truth does. You know, the truth gets you everywhere. Truth shall set you free. The truth is just the fucking truth. You know what I mean? Whether a person like it or don't, the honesty is what counts. Because if you lie, it's like, why did you lie this? Why did you lie that? Why did you lie this? Why did you lie that? Bitch ain't got time for that, bro. Like, tell the truth. Fuck it. It is what it is. Only motherfuckers I'm lying to is the judge and the cops. I'm telling you that. That's just me.
Okay. So when I was honest with you, it was actually it was when you were in box, and we were sitting at that table,
I didn't
and
give a
you had
fuck.
asked me a question. But it's not about you giving a
I
fuck.
just
That's
no. I
not
just
what the
gave yo,
question is right
but
now. It's me just telling them why I chose to be honest with you and communicate that with to
oh
you.
shit.
I could have lied. We both could have lied
Yeah, hell
about the
yeah.
situation. It weighed heavy on me. I felt bad about it. He legitimately asked me, and I told him.
And then I opened up my parts.
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember
So
that.
one of the hardest things I think in our relationship was I started saying this was honesty is the best policy, they always say. So I have tremendous amount of respect for the fact that he did choose to tell me when infidelity played a role in our relationship, which I know he didn't have to. But it is a very hard burden to carry. At least for me, it was. I know Kalief may act as though it wasn't hard for him. I don't shy away from my emotions. Over the years, I realized that's not a good thing to do. So if I'm angry, I'm angry. If I'm sad, I'm sad. If I'm happy, I'm happy. If I'm in denial or questioning something, I react to my emotions in a healthy way.
Let me piggyback
So,
off that real quick, baby.
so one thing I appreciate about our relationship is that we have always been honest with each other when it comes to the infidelity that has taken place, and we are not that way no surprises will come to haunt us because each other know. It also helps build a stronger relationship in my eyes for us, maybe not for somebody else, because of course infidelity is something that's never going to go away, and it's harder for some people to handle that because once someone does something wrong to you, it's hard for you to look at them.
So let me piggyback off that. Right? The harder you love, the harder you care, the deeper the burden. With that being said, if you care about somebody so much and you love somebody so much, you shouldn't fear being honest with them. The fear is actually open up to speak to them about it. And once it becomes too heavy on you, you're going to let it go, and it might just tear you holding that shit the fuck in. I ain't trying to get tore the fuck up. Fuck that. So I got to let that shit out. I need it off my motherfucking mind so I can keep on living and not carry that burden on myself. And at the end of the day, you know what I mean, when she wants to bring it up, if we can get through that conversation that day or that week, then it's done and over with. Even though it's still going to be on the back of their mind, the back on your mind, whatever the case may be, it's done, it's over with, you vented, y'all came to the conclusion, it's time to move forward.
So to finish off our communication topic that we were talking about, one thing that is important, this is called advice time, is so that we can offer positive advice for those who are in a relationship, regardless how long you have been in a relationship, on why communication is important. So from my perspective, and then Kalief will share his perspective, communication is, to me, the bread and butter of the relationship from the start, or at least a very important piece. I had written a blog post about there are 7 pieces of a relationship that makes it healthy, and communication was one of them. And it is important for you to keep communication open in a relationship, regardless what type of relationship you're in. It could be a polyamorous relationship, a monogamous relationship, an open relationship. It doesn't matter what category your relationship fall under, but when both people mutually understand the line of communication, make sure it is also respected and understood, that to me is very important. In our relationship, I feel there's always been honesty, even honesty when I didn't necessarily always cared to hear about it, but I had to respect that about my partner, and the fact that he was honest with me, even in situations that he knew that it was about to change the dynamic of our setup. So even if you know the person may be hurt when you share something with them, it's important to be open and not to allow that to weigh heavy on your heart. So from my perspective, that's what I see for communication and why it's important for my relationship. Kalief?
I really don't have nothing to say. Just honesty is honesty, you know what I mean? Stand up and be a man about it, or a woman. Regardless how it goes, which way it goes. Just stand on them 10 toes.
So how do you view communication, and what advice, at least some small insight, you have to offer? Even if it's your kids that were to ask you, why is communication important to you, Dad?
You really want me to answer this?
Yeah, because,
Okay.
it's an
So,
educational podcast. It's not just us running our mouths.
me personally, I communicate the important, or the hurtful, or the good, the bad. It doesn't even matter what. I just communicate it. Just to give the person the insight on what's going on, what's about to happen, what might happen. I guess, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna really keep to myself individual. But if it's a need to know basis, I mean, like, I gotta let you know. There's certain things I literally can't let you know, but there's a lot of things I gotta let you know. That's just me being honest. You mad?
No, I'm not mad. I'm
Nah,
just
but seriously,
listening.
though.
I'm not mad. There's nothing to be
Seriously, though.
mad about.
Seriously, honesty is the best thing ever for anything. Just be honest, Even if you're outside in the world, if a person don't like what you say, fuck, they're adults. Fuck their feelings. Oh, that's my line. You're an adult. Fuck your feelings, man. As long as I'm being honest, who cares about the rest of it?
All right.
Respectfully.
All right. So that's going to end our episode of communication. As always, we want to thank you guys for listening, and tune in to next month when we have the next Advice Time podcast episode posted. And as always, remember to love yourself, voice yourself, and be yourself. To the next episode. Have a great one. Thanks for tuning in to Fun Palais Podcast. If you want to continue the conversation or share your takeaways, I want to hear from you. Head on over to the website or join our Facebook community and comment your favorite part of the show or share your thoughts. I want to hear what you have to say. Don't forget to rate and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. Chat with you next week.